Every hour of this program is a double feature. Now, we once again join everyone's favorite crime-fighting cowpoke and his heroic horse pal in the further exploits of Roscoe Taylor, the Tallahassee tween. Brought to you by KZSM.org. Our second episode of the evening, The Terrible Tune of a Telltale JUG. This story begins in the fancy lobby of a fancy theater. Checkers and Roscoe got tickets to the Grand New Opry, an immaculate venue for music. In the Wild West, this modern melodical mansion was the crown jewel of country musicians. The night's featured attraction was a concert by the Rymin Family Band, a world-famous three-piece group that consisted of two identical twin brothers, Chuck and Ian, who played the fiddle and the jug respectively, and their grandfather, old Peepaw Rymin, who yodeled the night away. Tonight's concert was a blowout success, and after the songs ended and the audience started to leave the Opry, Roscoe and Checkers stayed behind in the lobby in the hopes of getting an autograph.
That show was really good. Thanks for coming here with me, Roscoe.
Yeah, I loved the part where that old guy yodeled so loud that all the windows shattered. It was so cool.
Old Peepaw Rymin is the best yodeler in the country music history, that's for sure.
When do you think the band will come out to the lobby for autographs?
Hard to say. We've been standing here for a few minutes already. They might still be packing up equipment or something.
Maybe. What do we want them to sign?
I haven't actually thought of that yet. Check through the saddlebags. Maybe we've got a piece of paper or something.
Okay, I'm looking. We've got a couple of sugar cubes, some extra rope, a canteen, a spare cowboy hat, 2 pairs of horseshoes, 3 pairs of people shoes, and a chunk of beef jerky.
Huh. I guess we ought to use the jerky. It's better than nothing.
What's the use of an autograph anyways?
Oh, it's a memento and a slice of history. I know you aren't too familiar with the Rymin Family Band, but they're living legends. And living legends like writing their names on stuff, hopefully including a strip of dried beef.
There they are!
Coming out of the green room door, Chuck, Ian, and old Peepaw Rymin entered the lobby of the Opry. Checkers trotted up to the three of them with a huge grin on his face.
Howdy.
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 Howdy do to you and you. I'm old Peepaw. These here are my boys.
Oh, I know. We just watched your concert. I'm Checkers. I'm a horse bounty hunter and a huge fan of you three. This is Roscoe.
Howdy.
Very nice to meet you two. How'd you like the show?
Oh, we loved it.
Yeah, it was really good.
You're darn tootin' it was. Thanks for coming out tonight. Say, what's that in your hand, young man?
Oh, it's a strip of beef jerky.
We were wondering if you three might sign it with a pen or something.
Oh, of course. We'd love to. Isn't that right, boys?
Sure.
Yeah.
Old Peepaw pulled a silver fountain pen out of his pocket and scribbled the letters OPPR on the jerky. He handed the pen and the meat over to his grandsons, who added their signatures to the strip before handing it back to Roscoe. Checkers was so starstruck that he looked as if he was about to faint.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a whole lot to a horse like me. I'll never eat that jerky for as long as I live. I swear to Cowboy God.
It's always nice to meet fans. Isn't that right, boys?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
You'll have to excuse my grandsons here. They aren't as enthusiastic as they ought to be. You see, we just found out that our tour manager got rabies this afternoon. He got bit by a pack of raccoons or something. I don't know. He was in charge of planning our tour's transportation. So now we don't have a ride back to our house tonight.
It sucks.
I can't believe how inconsiderate some people can be.
Yeah, just like, don't get rabies, you know?
Exactly.
I'm sorry to hear about that, guys. That's a real drag.
Oh, we can help.
You can?
You bet. I'm a horse. Just hop on my back and we can head out to your house in no time flat.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
But I want to. I mean, we want to, right, Roscoe?
Right. Helping people is what we do.
What he said.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Horse.
We really appreciate it.
Anytime. I'm a huge fan of yours. Whatever you need, I'm your horse.
Thank you, Checkers. Now I'll go get our wagon and we can get you hitched up to it. Sound good?
Wagon?
Why, the one we carry all of our instruments in. Is that okay?
Sure. Let's go.
The band members loaded everything up on the wagon, and Roscoe helped tie Checkers to the reins. Although the cart was heavy, Checkers was determined to impress the Ryman family, no matter how strenuous the journey might be. Once the wagon was loaded up, Roscoe and the band all hopped aboard the wooden seats, and Checkers began lugging the group forwards down the road. While they rode towards the Ryman family household, Roscoe began making conversation with the three musicians sitting next to him.
So, when did you guys get involved with music?
Oh, well, I learned how to yodel when I was just a youngin'. Of course, that was before the war.
Which one?
All of them. Just fooling. I don't remember which war. When I try to remember back that far, the years just get all ambiguous. Anywho, I've been yodeling for most of my life, and once these two were born, I got straight to work teaching them how to play bluegrass and country swing. Chuck here was a natural with the fiddle.
Thanks, peepaw.
And Ian? Ian loved playing the jug.
It's true. Can't get enough of that dang thing.
Well, we can.
That's supposed to mean.
Huh? Nothing.
Say that to my face.
Okay. I think your jug playing stinks. You were in the wrong key during that whole concert. It drives me crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Boys, quit it. Don't argue in front of our new friends here. Were you raised in a barn?
No, peepaw.
That's right. You weren't. Now, I better not hear any bickering between you two hooligans for the rest of the night. Am I understood?
Yes, peepaw.
Sorry about these two, Roscoe.
Oh, it's no big deal, really.
Well, anyways, I'd love to keep talking with you, but I am worn out, just plumb tired. We've got about another hour's ride before your horse friend will get us to the estate, so I'm gonna give my old bones a rest and take a little nap if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind at all.
Old Peepaw stretched his arms back and made himself comfortable in the wooden wagon seat, and he quickly fell asleep. Roscoe was sitting between Chuck and Ian, who were staring at one another with a nasty glare.
I wasn't in the wrong key at the concert.
Word two.
Were not. I mean, was not. I mean, I weren't.
Yeah, you were, idiot.
What do you think, Roscoe? You watched us perform, didn't you? Did my jug sound out of tune?
I don't want to get in the middle of this.
He asked you a question, answering. His jug sounded like garbage, didn't it?
Right. No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
I thought it sounded fine. I mean, good.
See? That shows you. He thought it sounded good.
Well, what does he know anyway? I'm the one with the ear for harmonies. I know what I heard.
You ain't no squad.
The two brothers argued for the whole rest of the ride home as Roscoe sat uncomfortably between them, and old Peepaw slept like a log. Once they arrived at the Ryman family estate, the twins started to unpack the wagon, and Roscoe helped get the reins off of Checkers.
Whew. That sure was some trip. I am beat.
Yeah, could you hear any of the arguing between those brothers?
No, the wagon wheels made so much noise against the road, I couldn't really hear anything.
Well, consider yourself lucky. It was tense. They were at each other's throats the whole time. I didn't have a clue what I was supposed to say. I just met these guys.
Oh, come on. I'm sure it wasn't that bad. Just siblings disagreeing a bit. That's pretty common.
I mean, they...
Hey, boys. Chuck and Ian finished unloading the wagon. Why don't you two spend the night here at our place as a thank you for giving us a ride home?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Peepaw. We'd be much obliged to take you up on that. I'm mighty tired myself.
Me too. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. It's settled then. I'll help you get your rooms ready, and in the morning I'll cook you up a big hearty breakfast before sending you on your way.
This is even better than the autographed jerky. Thank you so much for having us. You don't know how much your music means to me.
I got a hunch. That's just a little joke. Let's get inside, why don't we?
Old Peepaw Ryman led our heroes into a large ranch house and helped them get ready for a good night's sleep. Down in the living room of the house, however, the brothers Chuck and Ian were squabbling as ferociously as ever.
It's just fundamentally a stupid instrument.
Oh, whatever, Chuck. Now you're just trying to hurt my feelings.
No, really. Are you trying to tell me that a jug has the same musical merit as a fiddle?
Yes, of course it does.
You're full of it, dude.
Huff my overalls, dweeb. You're being ridiculous. You ain't know the first thing about true musicianship.
Do too.
Do not.
What? The audience members come for a show. They come for Peepaw's voice and my fiddle. They just humor you while you toot away on your stupid little jug.
It's not stupid. You're stupid.
Ian picked up his nearby jug and held it in Chuck's face.
People love this jug. People love when I play this jug.
No, they don't, you moron. Nobody in their right mind likes the sound of that thing.
Oh, really?
Really. Stop that. Stop that.
Make me.
I swear, Ian, I'm sick and tired of that stupid jug.
You're just jealous.
Cut it out.
You just wish you could play as good as me.
I hate you. Come here, you.
You can't catch me.
Chuck ran around the living room with Ian as he played his jug with a giant grin on his face.
Ian,
What's wrong, brother? Are you mad?
I'll show you mad.
Chuck was as mad as he'd ever been before, and Ian was loving it. They ran and ran in circles before Chuck finally got a hold of the back of Ian's shirt.
Gotcha.
Hey!
Chuck grabbed Ian's jug out of his hands and picked it up in the air.
Say goodbye to this stupid jug.
Chuck smashed the jug down on Ian's head.
Oh!
As the jug shattered into a million little pieces, Ian fell straight to the ground like a sack of potatoes.
Ian. Hey, wake up, Ian.
A trickle of blood came out of Ian's nose as he laid on the ground, eyes closed and limp.
Oh no. I killed him. What am I gonna do? I'm not a murderer. I gotta hide the body. Yeah, hide the body. Somewhere no one would find it. Then I'll figure out some excuse later. I'm so sorry, Ian. I didn't mean to.
Chuck quickly pulled up some nearby floorboards and stuffed his twin brother's body down in the newly exposed hole. Then he placed the boards back in their original positions and carefully swept up the broken remnants of the jug that lay strewn across the floor.
What am I gonna tell Peepaw?
What is he gonna tell Peepaw? Will Roscoe and Checkers find out about this grisly murder? Will Chuck get away with his despicable deed? Is a jug really a fundamentally stupid instrument? There's only one way to find the answers to these questions. Listen to this short commercial break.
I'm Jordan,
And I'm Lexi.
and we're the hosts of the brand new KZSM show, Swamp Gas Uggos. Join us every week as we dive into the swamps of reality and discuss cryptids, ghosts, UFOs, and everything else that goes bump in the night. I believe.
And I'm scared.
And you'll catch us every Sunday at 10 p.m. here on KZSM.org.
Welcome back to Roscoe Taylor, the Tallahassee Tween. Now let's get back to the action. When we left off, Roscoe and Checkers had just spent the night at the Rymin family's ranch house. The Rymans were a musical trio consisting of old Peepaw Rymin and identical twins Chuck and Ian. In the dead of night, however, in a heated argument about musical jugs and their artistic merit, Chuck unintentionally murdered his brother, then hid the body underneath the living room floorboards. What will happen next, you may be wondering? Let's find out together. Roscoe and Checkers wake up in the guest room bunk beds, and as they walk downstairs, they see old Peepaw Rymin happily frying up a few eggs on the skillet, and Chuck anxiously sitting at the dinner table with his eyes darting back and forth and his forehead wet with the beads of sweat.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, boys. You hungry?
Very.
Good. I've got some biscuits in the Dutch oven and a pot of coffee brewing. Once these eggs are finished, we can all chow down before we bid you farewell.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Peepaw.
Please, you're our guest now. You can just call me Peepaw.
You okay, Checkers?
give me a minute, Roscoe. Just give me a minute.
Whatever you say, buddy. Hey, where did Ian go? Is he still sleeping?
Who? Yeah, Ian. He's, he's,
Chuck said Ian went fishing this morning. There's a creek down a little ways. I'm sure he'll be back in time for breakfast. That boy loves to eat.
yeah, fishing. He went fishing.
Okay. Anyways, is there anything we can do to help you, Peepaw?
Not one bit. You two just sit down here at the table with Chuck. I'm just about done.
Can do.
As Roscoe and Checkers walked up to the table, Chuck is having a full-blown panic attack internally as he repeats the events of last night over and over in his head. He didn't mean to kill his brother, he thinks. He just wanted him to stop playing the jug, he thinks. Chuck can barely focus on anything as old Peepaw plops down the plates of breakfast on the table in front of everyone. And that's when he hears it. The unmistakable toot of his brother's jug. Chuck looked around frantically and tried to find the source of the sound, but he couldn't see anything out of the ordinary.
Ian? Where are you?
What's that, boy? You gotta speak up. We can't hear you.
Nothing, Peepaw. Just talking to myself.
Are you feeling all right, Chuck? You look startled.
I'm fine. Everything is fine. Why don't we start eating?
Okay. Are we gonna say a prayer to Cowboy Jesus first?
Chuck tried to read the faces of his grandpa and the two guests, but they seemed unfazed by the jug sounds. It was as if they couldn't hear it at all.
Chuck, why don't you do the honors?
Yes, Peepaw. Dear Cowboy Jesus, who art in cowboy heaven, hallowed be thy hat. Your kingdom come, your will be done, in a saloon as it is in high noon. Give us this day our daily...
Chuck finally realized that the sound was coming from underneath the floorboards, in the very place he hid his brother's corpse just a few hours ago. He couldn't take it anymore. The sound was driving him mad.
I did it, okay? I killed him.
Who?
Cowboy Jesus? But he's already dead.
No.
Famously.
Not Cowboy Jesus, Ian. I smashed him in the head with his jug. He's dead. I did it. Me.
Whoa, hold on there, Chuck. What are you saying?
Look, under the floorboards. That's where I put him. Please, just make the jug sound stop, please.
Chuck ran to the living room floor and started pulling up the floorboards that his brother was lying under. He yanked each and every board up to reveal...
What? Nothing. He's not here. Then, well, where is he?
Over here.
Ian had just walked in through the front doors of the house, and everyone was shocked.
Ian, there you are. Where have you been?
Chuck friggin' bashed my head in with the ceramic jug. I just woke up.
But hell, I thought I killed
You
you.
didn't kill me, stupid. You knocked me out. I came to under the floorboards a few minutes ago. You really thought I was dead.
Yes, of course I did.
And instead of telling anybody, you were just gonna cover it up?
Yes, of course I would.
You suck. You're a lousy brother and a terrible person. I'm gonna beat you to death.
Why, you little...
Boys, enough of the fighting. We have guests. Let's all just finish breakfast, why don't we? And then we can deal with the moral implications of Chuck's actions after Roscoe and Checkers leave. Okay?
Yes, Peepaw.
Good. Now, let's get to it.
This is a real can of worms.
But at least Ian is alive. The world would be a sadder place if the Rymin family band had lost one of its members.
Wait, if you were outside, then that jug I heard was just in my head?
Yes. Yes, it was. And Chuck will hear the tooting of that jug every day for the rest of his life. That's his punishment, I guess. This is like a Twilight Zone thing.
No!
And with that perfect ending, our broadcast is coming to a close. Make sure to tune in next week at 9 p.m. to hear the next audio adventures of everyone's favorite armadillo-kicking chap, Roscoe Taylor, the Tallahassee Tween. Tonight's episodes were brought to you by KZSM.org, True Community Radio. Sam Pierce played Roscoe Taylor. Mitchell Oden played Checkers Justice. Hayden Hovespian played the Tourist, the Armadillo King, and Chuck Rymin. Jordan Pilkenton played Armadillo Guard Number 5, Ian Rymin, and he worked as the audio producer for our program. This show is written and directed by me, Garrett Buss. I played the narrator, Armadillo Guard Number 1, and old peepaw Rymin. Coming up after this is a crazy good episode of Swamp Gas Uggos at 10, so be sure to stay tuned. From all of us here in the Wild Wild West, thank you and good night.